All the way from sunny SoCal into 32 million homes and counting, this is America Trends. I'm Barry Nussbaum filling in for Dr. Gina tonight. Our poll question today, should the Iran nuclear deal be canceled? Vote in that poll at u2america.com or use the U2 America app, available now for Apple and Android devices. Download it now if you don't have it already. Free speech in America is under attack, especially on our college campuses. I talked about this in the open. Students complain that chalk messages cause them physical pain. Others demand safe spaces where they can escape any sort of speech they disagree with. Someone who's on the front lines of battling the politically craziness is my next guest. Joining me now from Los Angeles, California, he's the president of the Horowitz Freedom Center and the editor of Front Page Mag, David Horowitz. David, welcome.
Well, there's a method in their madness. They want to make themselves look like victims, but their real agenda is very aggressive, and that is to keep people like me or any conservative off campus because they don't feel safe. So it really is an attack. It's an attack on freedom of speech, as you mentioned at the top, but it's an attack also on any dissent. They want a one-party state. I have a magazine called frontpagemag.com, and its motto is, inside every liberal is a totalitarian screaming to get out.
David,
and that's the way you understand these people.
I got it. What happened at San Diego State this week that caused this firestorm? I don't understand the pushback. Can you give us a quick summary of what you did that caused all of this?
Sure. Because the campus papers are pretty well closed down to conservatives, because conservative professors have been purged from faculties and conservative books from reading lists, the only way to actually reach these students on a campus, I mean, I'm talking not just the conservative students, but the majority of students, is to put up posters. So we put up posters identifying activists on the campus who are supporting the terrorist organization Hamas and its campaign to economically strangle Israel, and then to finish the job that Hitler started, which is something that they say in so many words is their agenda.
Right.
So you have genocidal supporters of genocide on the campuses, claiming to be progressives, of course. And we put up these posters, and what upset them was that we named them. So, and we didn't, we weren't picking on students, we were picking on leaders of these pro-terrorist organizations that are funded by Hamas and orchestrated, and they spread all these lies. For example, the biggest lie is that Israel occupies Arab land. It doesn't. It occupies land that belonged to the Turks, who are not Arabs, for 400 years previously. The Arabs have less of a claim on Israel or on the West Bank or on Gaza than American Indians do on the United States. Anyway, the president, of course, this really upset them. I mean, and some of them are innocent enough. They're just being used to get hysterical if they see their names. This is just a matter of accountability. So the president of the school basically just said, it's a free speech issue, and there's nothing he can do about it. He didn't quite say nothing he can do about it, but he did say it's a free speech issue. And then he said something like, we don't like just hate speech or whatever. These signs, the posters are not hate speech at all. What they say is stop the Jew hatred, and they identify these causes as being pro-terrorist, which they are. So the left responded by laying an ambush for the president as he emerged from an event in a police cruiser, surrounded the police cruiser, and trapped him in the car for 2 hours until he agreed to apologize because they said their feelings were hurt. Don't fall for this victim crap, because the next thing he did was agree to meet with them to discuss how to restrict mind free speech, but a guy wasn't going to do that. So what they have done is they're now calling for his resignation. The same thing that happened at University of Missouri, where the president of the statewide university system stepped down, not a single factual claim made against him, just a bunch of leftists saying racism, and he agreed to step down.
So let me get this straight. So you put up a poster on the campus that names the names of people belonging to an organization that they publicly acknowledge that they belong to, and then you state what the purpose of those organizations are, which is in the press, so you're not inventing anything. And based on that, you're told by these kids, get off our campus, and if the president doesn't restrict you, they're angry enough to have the president thrown out, and in the meantime, they capture him for 2 hours and they don't let him go until he apologizes for not keeping you off campus. Do I have that right?
You have that exactly right.
Are any of these kids, have any of these kids been expelled?
Well, not even disciplined. They weren't even given a lecture. It's completely inappropriate for college students.
Have charges been brought under the law in California for any charges been brought with the police?
Of course not. No.
I'm astounded.
The next issue here is this. These pro-terrorist students and campaigns spreading lies generated by a terrorist organization are funded by the university. They're recognized student groups. They have offices they don't pay for in the student union. This is an outrage. Every California taxpayer should be outraged by this. And we're going to do our best to see that they do get outraged sooner rather than later.
So the posters that you put up, document them as members of this BDS movement. As quick as you can, David, tell us what BDS is.
BDS is the Boycott, Divest, and Sanctions movement. It is funded by Hamas, the terrorist organization. It originated with, terrorists in so-called Palestine, people with terrorist records, and it's been called anti-Semitic, not only by Alan Dershowitz, a liberal, or Larry Summers, former president of Harvard, a liberal, but Hillary Clinton also is opposed to BDS. So there's it should be an absolute fringe, but our universities, like San Diego State, has allowed it to have an important foothold on campus.
So where
they can hold events. I can't hold events on the campus.
So where's David? Where's this anti-Israel hatred coming from? Who's behind it? Where's the money coming from?
Palestinian Nazis. Look, Hamas has a charter, and in the charter it says, it quotes the prophets saying, the day of redemption will only come when Muslims fight the Jews and kill them, when the Jews hide behind the rocks and the trees, and the rocks and the trees cry out, "O Muslim, there's a Jew hiding behind me, come and kill him." These are genocidal Nazis. Every Palestinian who votes for this, because there's an alliance now between the West Bank rulers and the Gaza, which is Hamas.
Got it, David.
Every Palestinian is guilty of calling for the murder of all Jews.
David, we got to leave it there. Thanks so much. Up next, more on the duping of the American people with Dr. Herb London. Stay with us. More on